this is a thing about climate change. Is it a hoax or is it an actual real thing? Here's a lady, she's going to tell us all about it. I've got to learn.
Recently, in my announcement speech for Congress here in Louisiana, I said something very provocative. I said that global warming is a hoax. A specter is haunting America. It is perhaps the greatest deception in the history of mankind. It has been almost 10 years since failed presidential candidate Al Gore put out his propaganda film, The Inconvenient Truth, proclaiming that the actions of America's energy industry are causing a catastrophic rise in the Earth's temperature.
Firstly, what's Al Gore got to gain and everyone else? Like, what have they gained by going, there's this thing, climate change, we're worried about it. Now we get free coins from Esso. They don't get anything out of it.
But quite inconveniently for Al Gore and for the rest of the politicians who continue to advance this delusion, any 10-year-old can invalidate their thesis with one of the simplest scientific devices known to man, a thermometer. President Obama knows it's getting colder. He was foolish enough to blame our recent pathetic economic growth on record-freezing weather. And then he turned around and launched a new debate on global warming.
What you've done there is you've mistaken climate for weather. Climate is the overall trends that can take place over decades and longer periods of time. Weather's what's out your window right now. In general, the temperature is getting hotter. It means that there's more moisture in the air, which means that there's more storms, short flash storms and flash flooding, instead of a sort of a spread out, more reliable weather system. It's almost like sort of something mechanical and synthetic is going into the weather systems and disrupting them, and that is what's happening because we're heating up the planet with emissions of carbon. It's really simple.
In the Obama administration, down is up, 2 + 2 = 5, and ignorance is strength.
They say that a lot about 2 + 2 = 5. It's something they're obsessed with, 2 + 2 being 5 and down being up. What I do, I suppose, is they use irrefutable calculus or irrefutable mechanised systems to dispute things that are subjective. No, down is up, black is white, day is night. There is no climate change. I went on a skiing trip and the snow was fine. Like, no, you're eliminating really vital information.
Last summer, Antarctica reached the coldest temperature in recorded history. Polar bears have been forced out of their habitat because of overpopulation.
That's because things are being disrupted again. Well, the polar bears, one minute they were saying it was going to be too hot. Now the polar bears are saying it's too cold. What are they? Bears are actually Goldilocks. So, there is no climate change, and this change in climate proves it. That is climate change, you maniac.
Liberals have professed that global warming would cause an increase in severe weather systems, such as hurricanes, and they blame global warming every time these dangerous storms take place. But experts agree, over the last several years, storms have decreased.
What could energy companies possibly gain by saying that they are not causing climate change? Money.
The conspiracy of global warming has had a devastating effect on the American dream. The rise of modern society since the first refinement of crude oil in 1847 is no coincidence. America's energy producers fueled the Industrial Revolution, which caused never-before-seen advances in living standards for the masses of ordinary people.
Even the people in the archive that she's using to illustrate the point, they're having a really horrible time. They're all crowded on a train, they're coming out of a mine. Those were the days, weren't they, Charlie, when we were coming out of that mine? That archive don't illustrate that. That was a temporary blip. That's been well analysed, that as like the early phases of urbanisation and industrialisation do temporarily create a middle class, but that ended in around 1975. She's just up for anything that's out of order.
It was the burning of oil that energized the foundation of a real middle class in the 20th century, giving them access to new luxuries such as electric lights, refrigeration, and automobiles.
You've got to look beyond the idea that material possessions are the only desirable outcome of your experience as a human being.
It was free market capitalism that created the wealthiest society the earth had ever seen.
It did create the wealthiest society the world's ever been. It's just there's not very many people in that society, and everyone else is fucking broke.
But now, both capitalism and our energy industry are under attack.
Can we stop bullying these two vulnerable things? Capitalism, poor bloody little thing that it is, and energy companies.
We need to free America's energy producers to power a new American renaissance and provide the resources to tackle the actual apocalyptic event of our day, $18 trillion of national debt.
That 18 trillion of debt is because of the policies and ideas that she's advocating. Climate change is demonstrably real. That blip of consumerism wasn't that good. I mean, all that happens is we've got a load of stuff. I mean, ain't that good, is it? What about the stuff? You seem to be forgetting the stuff that you got. Oh, it didn't work though. Shut up! It did. It's great. Let's get some more stuff.
We could replace Russia as Europe's primary energy provider.
Oh my God, that's almost, it's gone evil now.
Instantly drying up Putin's wealth and with it, his renewed Russian nationalism.
Oh God, I'm trying to have another go at the Russians now. I thought we got over that. No, let's start the Cold War again. Let's invade Cuba and Germany. Let's revive every antiquated and broken idea that we can think of. Why did we let go of slavery? That was a good idea. Those guys worked for literally nothing. And I don't think there was a, why are we not doing, hello? Could we start slavery?
We could also cripple the economies of the Middle Eastern nations.
Oh yeah, things are going well in the Middle East. Stop fucking with him. Oh my God, you've got some bad ideas, you.
Who spend much of their oil profits developing new ways to blow the United States off the face of the earth.
New ways? They've already found several ways to do it, like with the airplane thing that they did with allies of ours in Saudi Arabia that actually advanced the causes of the energy companies that are now defending and was in fact pursuing the agenda of those energy companies so they had access to more Middle Eastern oil.
Energy security is real. Global warming is not. It is merely a strategy designed to give more power to the executive branch while increasing taxes in a progressive's dream to regulate every aspect of American life.
A lot of aspects of American life are already regulated. Any aspect that might mean redistribution of wealth and power, that's really, really well regulated. No, what you're trying to prevent is the regulation of people that require it, people that have got loads and loads and loads and loads of power. That is precisely what needs to be regulated in order to save the planet. You mad, dear, delightful child of the Lord. Let her on the telly. She's a maniac. Lena, stop it, you troublesome loony. Firstly, why would anyone say there was climate change if there wasn't? What would they be gaining? Climate change is different from weather, it takes place over a longer period of time and can indeed incorporate colder periods. Alright? Will you shut up now? That is some truth.
Nose is a tool that is abused to fool you and to leave you scared and confused. Trews is like the nose. If the nose was true, I want some trews. Let's have some trews.